In March 2016, there was a deal between the European Union and Turkey where about 50,000 refugees were stuck in Greece, and they settled on very poor quality, derelict ex-military camps. And John found one of those places, and it had about 800 people and it needed help. And so that's when Refugee Support was born. How we gave what we gave was more important than what we gave. Right from the beginning in Greece, what we wanted to do was distribute what people needed, but in a dignified way. Refugee Support creates welcoming environments to distribute the essentials of life. Everything we do is about providing dignity and normality. We're entirely supported by private donations, and our service is delivered by self-funded volunteers. So we created our own money, and then we distributed that money around the camp, and the bigger the family, the more money that they got. And then they could come and use that refugee support money. That way they got choice. Importantly, what they got was a sense of normality. In the chaos and the misery and the frustration of a refugee camp, there was one corner of it where they would be treated just like normal human beings. But most people don't want to live on handouts. They want to be self-sufficient and independent. In those early days, we needed something like 10 or 12 people at any one time. They came for between 2 and 3 weeks, and mostly from Western Europe. But actually, over the 3 or so years that we were in Greece, we had something like 750 volunteers from over 40 countries. We had a project in Greece which was a microfinance project. It seemed clear that working on a refugee camp, we would never be able to run activities that enabled people to become self-sufficient and independent. So we looked for somewhere else to be able to do that, and an opportunity came up in Cyprus. In Cyprus, we set up a dignity centre, a 3-storey building in Nicosia, which has different activities on each of those stories. It has language learning, a safe space, an opportunity to come and charge their phone, wash their clothes, have a shower, but also to earn an income. And so one of the things that has really taken off is a sewing cooperative. Having a master tailor who was a local asylum seeker, talented refugees and asylum seekers who were able to make clothes, they could produce things which we would then be able to sell. There is a gap between emergency support and people who have settled status, where they're not getting the kind of services that they need and the support that they need in order to be able to rebuild their lives. So we can fill a really important gap there by giving them a place that they can come and to get some really essential skills, and to feel like they are supported in getting those skills so that they can then move on with their lives. Do you know what I used to say to people who came to do this job and to volunteer, that it was one of the worst jobs that they could do. It was working in some of the most difficult environments with people who are really struggling with the conditions that they're being forced to live under. But another one has actually been discovering that there's a community of helpers out there from all over the world who, when you give them an opportunity, they have done amazing work.
Number one, what you're doing while you're volunteering is what's really good about the experience. You're actually providing aid to people in a really nice, dignified way.
You know, these people have endured so much and they're so brave to have made these journeys. We need to bring some kind of respect into their lives.
And so often I look at what John and I have set up as an organisation that's really just facilitated the huge pool of talent out there, a huge pool of love and support and desire to help, and made that possible.
For everyone, thank you.
Refugee Support. Aid with dignity.